Welcome to the Industrial Kingdom podcast, the manufacturing and agricultural show for the MENAT region. I am Valerie Zakka, the founder of the Industrial Kingdom Consulting Services. Our team offers consulting to business owners and investors in the agriculture and manufacturing industries around the North Africa, Middle East, and Turkish regions. Today, I am very happy to introduce one of our expert consultants, Mr. Bashar Berro, a food systems expert, among many other things. Hi, Bashar.
Hi, Valerie.
Thank you for being here and
For you.
for being as well on the team.
Thank you.
I'm very happy to have you on the show. And I wanted you to introduce yourself, to tell us a bit about your path and how you got here, and what are your many specializations.
Thank you again, Valerie. My name is Bashar Berro. Uh, I'm a food system expert and advisor with 19 years of experience. I did my studies in agriculture, land and water resources, and plant sciences at the American University of Beirut. And then I did many subspecialties in project management and in certification, ISOs and Global Gap with
Wow.
agricultural practices. I traveled a lot before having my business or my expertise or my office in the consulting services. I traveled a lot to almost all the countries on this globe.
Really?
Americas, Africas, Europe, and Middle East. I've worked a lot in the food systems, whether fresh, processed, export, import, everything. And then since 15 years, I've been focusing on the projects related to the development of the agri-food sector, whether fresh or processed. And this is on different levels because the food system is segregated into four main pillars: production, processing, natural resources, environment, and health and well-being. So I've explored and I learned that all the like governments, organizations, individuals, companies, like each one of them, they have interest in one of those four pillars. So, offering kind of a service or a knowledge or a know-how in the four pillars, and having this knowledge and offering it to a diverse, like diversity of governments or organizations, etc. This gives you a kind of let me say,
Edge.
edge. We
Right.
can say edge or strength to offer a service in food system, because food system is very big, very wide, very large. So you should like understand all those aspects in order to answer the concerns or questions of different parties around this
Very smart.
world.
Very
Yeah.
smart. So yeah, given that the food system is so wide, what are like the main hot topic you are seeing right now on this scene, especially in our covered region, the MENAT area?
Yeah. So, with no doubt that climate change is almost on the top, and we have food security and we have food waste. And why?
Yes.
Because the three are very interlinked. We have a population worldwide is rapidly increasing.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Climate change on the top, what you would say?
Yeah, because food security, food waste, food loss, they are all interlinked, like to
Yeah.
food or to food offering to the humanity, to the population. But what triggers the availability, scarcity, the prices, everything related to food is climate.
Okay.
Now, if like the recent updates or studies related to food prices worldwide, it showed that the food prices is in a spike, is increasing.
Mhm.
And two things that make the food prices increase: it's the disruption of supply chains,
Yeah.
wars and everything, and you have the climate change. And then that's why climate change is very, very important, or like a main topic. And then it impacts the food as a topic. And in the food, we have food security, food waste, food loss. And this is what I truly believe that the industrial kingdom is capable to resolve, to do, to support, to develop. Yeah, because we have the food is always disrupted. We have some countries producing certain type of food, they have shortage in other type of food. We have the other category of countries that they do not produce enough food, and we have the category of countries that they produce food but they have a lot of food waste. Others they have food loss, etc. Because food loss is something and food waste is something else. Food loss is when you lose your food before getting it to the table. Like if you have bad practices in harvest, in storage, and you lose food, this is food loss. But if you have the food, getting it from, for example, from the supermarket or from the store to your house, and then you don't store well at house, or maybe you don't eat the ugly ones, or etc. This is food waste. So the two things eventually made us lose 40% of our food around the world. 30 to 40%, and here we are talking about billions of tons. This is a crazy number. Yeah, this is billions of tons. And here, the industrial kingdom will resolve such an issue up to the higher level. I mean, for instance, to a government. If the governments need to resolve such a big topic, okay, we can do this service. Then for the food security, we go a little bit on the next level, which is related to the food security, availability, stability, accessibility. You see, because food sometimes is available, but is inaccessible. It's available, but it's expensive. So people, they cannot afford. And why it's expensive? Because the cost is high. So here the industrial kingdom will come and will support organizations or private sector SMEs to reduce their cost. So once I reduce the cost, then the food is accessible. Exactly. You see, if the cost is high, food is not accessible. Then if I go to stability, sometimes the food is available now, but in 2-3 months, we have another shortage for another 2-3 months. We have like availability shortage. Also, industrial kingdom will come here with the cluster of experts to support organizations and SMEs to let them have a sustainable system, to have food stable all around the year. You see, in the sense that food is now available and accessible and kind of stable. And this is very important to the food security. So if I want to say that a nation, a country is food secured, I mean that they have the food in the form of nutritional food, healthy food, etc. It is available, okay, throughout the year. And to have it available and stable around the year, we need expertise, we need technology, we need machinery. Because one last very important thing on the food security is the utility. If I have the food available, accessible, and stable, but I don't have the right utilities, I don't have the hygiene, I don't have the right storage, the right packaging. Electricity. Absolutely. If I don't have the right packaging, so if I'm utilizing the food in a very bad way, I'm not food secured. Even if I have the money, even if the food is available, and even if the food is stable, available throughout the year. But you know that we have many countries in the MENAT region that they don't have the right utility chain. You can see that sometimes they have gaps in hygiene, sometimes gaps in packaging, in packing, in storage, etc. And this what makes the food not safe. How far back do we have to go in the chain to kind of start solving this, or it depends on each country, for example? Yeah, it's a very good question. In fact, this is one of the services or the offering that we can do at Industrial Kingdom is to start doing the right assessments. Like, what do we exactly do? We do assessments, we do the studies, we do the trainings, we do the capacity buildings, we do everything. But we have to start from the right place, which is doing the assessment. Assessment is very important because anytime if I want to offer a solution. It's very important to have the right needs assessment or the right assessment, market assessment, etc. I should do the right assessment in order to understand the background of a country, of an organization, of a sector, of a value chain. When I do the right assessment, I can end up in a recommendation in any assessment. And based on the recommendation, I go to the implementation. And this implementation, sometimes it is done by the industrial kingdom, like team or partners. And sometimes this recommendation will goes to a government or another organization, etc., that they will implement. But I have to start from an assessment to really know, because climate or food, as the titles, are really like changing every second, every moment. You see, like every day, every week, we hear like stories. For instance, now we have a very big challenge across the world in the coffee. Why? Because Brazil, the main producer of coffee, this year they face a severe climate, aggressive climate drought. It reduced the production of coffee, even the quality. So the prices of the coffee jumped and spiked very high. So such challenges, they are really big. They are really like
Okay. What is happening in response to that? What countries or areas are responding to that crisis or are able to?
Yeah, it's not another great question. The answer for this is what really the industrial kingdom, what we really do at the industrial kingdom. Because when we talk about climate change, then if you ask me what the countries will be doing, or what the people, what the organizations, partners, stakeholders, what they will be doing, they have to come to industrial kingdom. Why? To give them the adaptation plan. You see, because if you want to fight climate change, you need a plan. You cannot go and fight, say just as a title, I want to fight. Yeah. You see, so you need that knowledge, that science, how to fight and how to adapt. For instance, I want to give you an example. Like, we should like first of all have the understanding of many people that they are affected by climate change. They don't know what is really a climate change. Yeah, they don't
how
know
to respond to it.
Yeah, and how to adapt. They don't know. First is the knowledge. You see, and unfortunately, the most affected people in the climate change across the world are those that they have the least role in doing that climate change.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Yeah.
the most vulnerable people, you see, across the world, even in the MENAT region specifically, those are, I'm talking about small processors, small or medium agro processors, and small and medium farmers. Those, they don't have like main role or intervention in doing the climate change in the world. What the climate change, the people that they did this change are the big processors or the big farms or the big countries. So those big are not affected as much as those small. That's why it's very important to focus on those small kind or small medium.
What do you mean by small? About, let's say, in the group?
Agro processor, I mean small to medium, talking about 4 to 10 employees or laborers. They have small production, small turnover. Farmers talking about 1 to 2 hectares of land. Those are small.
Yeah.
And those are very plenty, and they are in hundreds of thousands in the MENAT region. They are in hundreds of thousands in the MENAT region. And those, they need the knowledge first. You should teach them what is the climate change, and then tell them how to respond, how to adapt. Sometimes the solution is very easy, it's very close. Sometimes changing the variety that they are growing. Sometimes monitoring the weather. You see, like a couple of days ago, we have farmers here in Lebanon. They lost their greenhouse structure because of hail. You see, so because they don't know how to do the weather forecast, very basically, they got a hail suddenly and they lost their plastics. So if they know how to just to monitor the weather, maybe they can pick up their plastics and save their.
They can't want.
Yeah, many people, they don't know how to do the forecasting. Furthermore, like sometimes we have something, it's in the MENAT region and it is across the world, is the indigenous species.
Yes.
Every country has its own indigenous species, you see, and most of the countries they lost this species.
I know you've worked a lot on that.
Yes, I've been specialized a lot in the indigenous species, whether trees, shrubs, seeds, everything, and it's a passion for me because in the indigenous species you have thousands of years.
A lot of potential, right?
A lot of potential. You have stories, you have histories. It's very nice. You can see like sometimes you go for a hiking in Lebanon and you step on the wheat.
Really?
You don't know the value of this wheat. You see, you do a hiking and you are like walking in the mountains. You just pick up this kind of wheat or oats in the mountain and just throw it away. But in fact, this is a 4,000 to 5,000 years species. It's indigenous to Lebanon, and this species it can resist climate change, drought, high
Because it is
temperatures,
indigenous.
because it is indigenous.
And wouldn't it also like be sorry to interrupt because I'm fascinated by that topic. Wouldn't it be more easy to grow and maintain as well if it's indigenous to the country?
Yes, it is. It is the thing that you have to regrow because we've lost it. You see, we don't have enough seed banks. We don't have enough seedlings to start again producing commercially. And at the same time, you don't know exactly how to deal with it because you lost generations over the years. You see, now you can get an imported seed, for instance. And you know that if you produce this seed, I have 10% protein, okay, and I have, for example, 5% fat in the final product. I know how to deal with this product in terms of processing.
Yes.
The indigenous species, they have their own, you see, characteristics. So you need to, again, regrow those indigenous species and then to extract back again the real specifications of this product, because many times, like for instance in chickpeas is also is a booming crop because it's a warrior against climate change. It doesn't require a lot of water. It can fight the climate change. It's a very like excellent
Protein
food.
source, no?
Protein, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, antioxidants. It's really packed with a lot of like good nutritional content. But again, chickpeas. We have a lot of varieties undiscovered, and at the same time not developed. You see, we have the variety, but we don't know how to grow. We don't have the mechanization. Agriculture and agri-food is about mechanization. If you don't have machinery, equipment, you cannot grow. You cannot. You see, like you are talking about like many important crops. I'm talking about chickpeas. It's a very low productive crop per area. Yeah, like in 1 hectare, you can produce 1.5 tons only. But if you want to do this 1.5 tons by hand, it's very costly. Do it by machinery, it's an economy of scale. You can be, it could be very profitable. This
brings me also to another question. When we are talking about the larger farmers, like the big farms and things like that, what kind of how would you tailor the advisory to these clients?
Yes. In fact, even the big farms, I'm talking again about the MENAT.
I know you've worked on those.
Yes, I worked a lot with the big farms on the level of the MENAT region. Again, as I said before, everything is changing every day. You see, like every day we have innovation in machinery. We have innovation in the tools.
In machinery, you can't keep up all. You have to always be following.
Yes, you should always be updated. Okay, so the big farms, they don't have the access to all the sources around the world, to the tools, equipment, science, machineries, etc. They don't have this access. They have very limited access. Maybe the owner would go once, twice to some exhibitions. The real good thing about industrial kingdom and the diversity in the experts in this kingdom and the capacities that this kingdom has is that we will do that. You see, like we have much wider access to the sources and resources and exhibitions and summits, events, meetings, name it. So that's why we have a much faster kind of update. You see, we are very fast to get the updates and to find the solutions.
Yeah,
So
if
that
they come to you with a specific bottleneck, for example, or obstacle, you would be able to, after the assessment, as well to pinpoint the solution probably faster because of our exposure and also pool of expertise.
Absolutely, because you know the chain of producing food is very long and very complicated. It starts from sourcing the inputs, producing, harvesting, post-harvesting, processing, doing the marketing, doing the logistics. It's a long chain. And even again, even the big producers, okay, they have gaps on in this chain.
Yeah.
Either in logistics, either in storage, either in marketing, in processing, in post-harvest, if you go back. So that's why, because we have the holistic approach or the holistic capacity in this expertise, that's why when we say that we can increase your production or we can increase your productivity, we are really assured that we can increase the production or increase in productivity.
Yeah.
Whether agro-food processors or fresh producers, farmers, both of them, they need those two things.
Yes.
They want to increase production or they want to increase the productivity. If you go to a processor producing 10 tons of dried tomatoes every year, okay, it is his or her dream to produce 100 tons a year. This is an increase in production.
Yeah.
Again, the same guy or lady producing this 10 tons of sun-dried tomatoes, producing it with 100 workers.
Yes.
They want to produce with 50. This is an increase in productivity. This is why if you mix technology, science, machinery, equipment, tools, and knowledge, if you mix all of those, you can do successfully the two things.
Are you seeing a trend in increasing productivity in terms of, especially in our regions, in mechanization, in replacing some of the human element, like the workers with equipment? Is that a thing?
In fact, we don't aim or we don't look to replace humans by machinery.
Okay.
Again, if I introduce equipment or machinery, then I will increase the capacity of the workers or laborers to use this machinery.
They will operate it, yeah.
They will operate it. But what will happen is like instead of having 10 workers on the farm producing 10 tons, I will keep those 10 workers.
Sure.
I don't want people to lose jobs. I will keep them, but they will produce 100 tons. And this is something that I need.
Exactly.
We are 8.27 billion in population. Will be 8.5 in 2030, 9.7 billion in 2050. And what's much more important is that the calorie needs for humans is increasing. People, they need more calories. People, they are working more. You see, like the lifestyle has changed. So the calorie intake needed is more. People are more aware about like nutrition, about healthy food, about gluten-free food. You see, food like with high nutritional content of antioxidants, etc. So that's why I need more food, but I want to do it right. You see, so those workers, I want them to stay. I want to create jobs. I want people in the MENAT region, you see, especially the vulnerable regions or the rural areas. I want them to keep their jobs. Okay. But introducing equipments or tools or machineries to them, I will either increase their production or productivity. Like instead of small farmers harvesting their apples haphazardly, okay? I mean by haphazardly, like apples are mixed. Some of them are mature and some others are not. And then I go to the fridge, and then when I get out of the fridge, one of the apple is tasty, the other is bad. Why? Because I don't have the tool to test if the apple is mature or not. Yeah. So the industrial kingdom, when it comes and like do this service, this training, this offering, and even it provides the tool, then the farmers will know which apple to pick. Okay, then they will have the right product. You see, they will remain. The workers will remain, but they are more productive.
Okay.
Mm.
I totally support that.
Mm.
And I know you also have experience with livestock, right? And fish farming.
Livestock, yes, it's also a very wide topic. Fisheries is also is a future.
Mhm.
I say that the livestock is wide because we have the cattle, we have the sheep, we have the goats. Again, our communities in the Benat are kind of they have a knowledge. They need a lot of support, okay, but they have the knowledge because all the Benat region they raise livestock, cattle, sheep, and goats since thousands of years.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, but fisheries is very important. I'm saying it's the future because it's a very important and good source of protein that we can produce with the least impact of climate change. Like goats, sheep, or cattle, they are highly impacted by climate change. Whether the weather is, let's see, we have like four types of climate change. Sometimes you have a warm winter. This is very bad. Sometimes you have very harsh winter. It's very bad. Sometimes you have very dry summer, which is also very bad. And sometimes you have like occasional rains during summer, which is in some places bad. You see, so fisheries is the least type of like husbandry that or animal that
Can be affected
can be
by it.
affected, and it's very healthy, very safe source of protein.
Is it possible to do this in different climates, in like in the more like the hotter countries, or not really?
Yeah, the good thing about fisheries is the diversity in species. We have many species that can accommodate to shallow, deep, hot, cold waters, etc. You see, again, if you offer this knowledge to tell this country, this area, this region, which species to choose and how to
Exactly.
treat the species, okay, and how to make it efficient, then you can. The thing is about the ratio of feed to meat. Then you have like I'm feeding 1 kilogram of feed, but I'm getting back 2 kilos of meat, for example. So if I succeed in this ratio, I can end up in having a good source of protein, sustainable, 365 days. It's very important. It's a very promising. Now we have some countries in the MENAT, very few, you can say, like Egypt. They are doing excellent.
Really?
They have now almost 25 kilos of fish per capita every year production,
Nice.
which is very good. So this is very important, but again, it needs the right equipment, tools, machineries, etc., to develop. You need the slaughterhouses, you need the storage, you need the right packaging, etc., to develop this value chain. And again, I believe that industrial kingdom will do it.
Great. So, as a summary, what are like the main services that you, as an expert in these many topics, can offer to clients? Or another way to formulate this: when should clients reach out to you when he is looking for what?
Again, if they are looking to increase their production or productivity in, I can say, any food system, whether talking about fruits, vegetables, cereals, legumes, vines, trees, name it.
Okay.
I can do this service again with the support of my colleagues, the advisors of uh, Industrial Kingdom, and we can do the service from the assessment to end up in offering the final product, which is either a training, either a machinery, a tool, uh, anything that serves the production of productivity.
Great. Thank you so much,
Thanks for you.
Bashar. That was very informative. I know we can talk for many more hours because I am so interested and you have a lot of things to say.
Thank you, Valerie.
And to our viewers, thank you for watching. And we will be having, of course, another episode with tackling more specific topics with Bashar.
Sure thing.
I want to remind you to follow us, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and you can contact us through the website theindustrialkingdom.com. Thank you.